Daddy's back. I'm here. Everybody knows what's happening.
Yes, Dane is back on the podcast. It's not a voice memo this week, so it's gonna be a good time. Also, we have someone else who's not named Dane. Do you want to say a word right now? Who you are? Right here?
It's me, Lindsey Reed.
Yes, Lindsey Reed, who's, as some of you might know,
It's super slow.
And she's been one of Dane's past top haters, so I'm surprised we got her on the pod this week.
Mostly just here to defend my name.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Dane might play some cards to make it where it doesn't. I don't know.
I don't have cards. I just have facts that Lindsey sucks.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say, but this is episode 43 of the Until Next Week podcast. We're back.
It's happening.
Yes, it is happening. I know it's been like a month or 2 months since Dane's been on. It's honestly been a really peaceful time for myself. Editing's been nice. Haven't really had to worry about just taking out too many cuss words.
All the F words I say.
Yeah, it's pretty explicit usually, as you remember. But Dane's back on, and he also brought his sister Lindsey. So I don't know how she'll be quite yet, because obviously he had to learn that behavior from someone. Are
you kidding me?
Lindsey's a hostile person.
I mean,
I need help.
Because aren't you, Dane? You are the youngest, right?
No, I'm the oldest.
Oh,
and I'm the middle, and then there's a younger one.
I mixed that up completely. I just assumed, because obviously you haven't got married in the past 2 months, correct?
Allegedly.
Okay. I think that's where I was mixing it up. I just assumed, because usually, because the best athletes in the family are a lot of times the oldest.
They're definitely the oldest.
But that's why I assumed it wasn't you, why it was Lindsey.
Lindsey's never done anything but run slowly in a circle.
Do you want to defend yourself here? I thought it was more of an oval.
It is an oval, but I didn't just run on an oval. I ran the cross country courses in the streets for a really long time too. I don't even know where to begin with defending myself with him.
Yeah, that makes sense. Dane, I know she mentioned she runs in the streets. Is that
Lindsey? Get out of the streets.
Yeah, I did. How did it feel growing up in the streets?
Me?
Yeah, I mean, you ran in the streets, so I'm assuming that's what you meant. I don't
know. I enjoyed it.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Many people are wondering, Lindsey, why run when you could just not and be better?
That's a good point.
I don't have an answer to that because it's a ridiculous question.
Okay. Well, we can always come back to that if need be.
I'll tell a quick story.
Okay, here we go.
This isn't true.
No, it's true. So on the podcast, Dane has said before that he's beat me in the one and only race we've ever had.
I did.
No, you didn't. So one day when I was home for Thanksgiving or Christmas break, and I was responsible for getting my own mileage in college, I asked Dane, hey, will you go on this run with me so I don't have to go by myself? And Dane said, yeah, I'll go with you. And I'm like, okay, well, it's just a distance run. We're not going very far. It's pretty chill, which is why I asked him, because I knew that if I actually had a workout, there's no way he would have been able to keep up. So anyways, Dane and I go on this run, and he just takes off sprinting like it's some sort of intense workout. And it probably
was for him.
That's so true. Well, and it's
Samuel, I have cancer, dude.
Hey, you actually said you would play the cancer card, so I mean, whatever. I was expecting it at this point, but what else were you saying there, Lindsey?
Okay, anyways, so I don't even bother running that fast with Dane because that's not the point. That's not my workout schedule. And then, obviously he thinks it was a race and that he won, so he has run with that for probably the past 5 years and told everybody that he's so much faster than me. But I can remember being kids, and I was bigger and stronger than him for a really long time.
Are you still?
No.
I have cancer, so.
Well,
she had to think about it for a second.
I'm not. Well, he eventually did grow, but for a long time I was taller than him because we're only like a year apart.
Yeah.
Anyways, there would be times that we would race each other, just by sprinting, and I would out sprint him. So, I mean, I think I've always just been a lot more athletic than him.
That makes a lot of sense. I know, I guess in Dane's defense, he said he only beat you the one time, but I think usually a lot of people like going out on top. And I think that's what kind of happened in that scenario. He knew deep down he probably would not be able to beat you again. And because he got that one victory, he was like, this is it.
Right.
I'm done. It's kind of like Michael Jordan retiring at his peak after winning 3 championships.
Well, and Dane just had to sort of insert himself in a moment that he knew wasn't a legit competition and then kind of run with it.
Dane, your defense?
There were inaccuracies to the story. Number one, it was not for Thanksgiving break. It was down here in Springfield, and I was on a trail. No.
It was
No.
in our hometown. It was literally on the gravel road.
I also want to point out they're sharing a mic right now, so it makes this whole argument so much better. But anything else, you just want to stop there and keep going?
Well, it was also raining, and I'm the best. Lindsey simply just can't keep up. You don't keep a tamed tiger like myself in a cage. You got to let the Ferrari run.
Oh, that was good.
That was really dumb.
Lindsey, do you want to talk about how you got asked to be on the pod today?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So I plan to come to Springfield this weekend to spend time with Dane. And anyway, and so I get a text from him Wednesday morning that says, "Bring your personality this weekend. I signed you up for something." My response was, "I don't consent." And then he said, "We're both going to be on the pod!" 3 exclamation points. I said, "Oh gosh, where are we doing this at?" Anyways, I wasn't expecting this, but here we are.
I'm glad you were able to bring your personality. I've only seen you, I think I saw you a few weeks ago, and I seemed like you had your personality then as well, but I don't know if that's usually the case, according to Dane.
What's my personality?
I don't know.
Aggressive, rude, mean, lacking athleticism.
I think you're the aggressive one with how you keep pushing me away from the mic.
It is a little violent on you, but I mean, you did say you did have cancer, so it could be the situation here. Gosh.
brief update on the whole cancer situation.
Oh yeah, perfect time.
Yeah.
Do you want to give that update now, or do you want to do a grinds my gears situation first?
Now.
Okay, now. Okay.
So, not cancer free yet. Hopefully. Hopefully.
Wait, what?
Hopefully, we'll eventually be cancer free.
Okay, there we go.
But did chemo all last week. Felt fine for like 4 days, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday really sucked of last week. But then Monday hit, and every day's been really good since. I don't really feel the tumors anymore, which is really cool. And then also they say I'm responding well to the chemo. So that's really awesome. My energy is really good right now. I get tired late at night.
I do too.
Dang it. But mostly, honestly, right now, I feel better right now than before I started the chemo. So that's why I decided, hey, let's do the pod. And so then, and Lindsey was going to be here. So how could you miss an opportunity like that?
You can't.
I saw a shot and I saw there was no danger. So I took it. You took it, Maverick.
Yeah, you also heard that the podcast has been kind of blowing up lately, and you're like, I gotta remind everybody why we're at where we're at. You know,
such a good point.
So I understand you want to get some of the clout back, but yeah, I'm glad you're back on the pod, and I think that's a great transition to a classic segment of the podcast. Yes, our grinds my gears segment. I know Dane will have a while. It'll take him a while to figure out what he wants to. I guess not what he wants to grind his gears, but what is grinding his gears. But I'll just start off, and then we'll go Lindsey, and then we'll go Dane, and just kind of go from there. You know that old video where they had the guy like with the fireworks, and he's like, "Back it up, Terry." You know that, the classic video. I kind of wish I would have told someone not to back it up, Terry, because the other day in the parking lot of where I work out, someone just started backing up, and I was like, "You're getting really close and really close and really close," and then they hit my car, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" Like, it is a big parking lot, and they just were not turning like whatsoever. And I'm honking my horn, and they're like, "Yeah, I heard the horn," and then my foot slipped. I'm like, "You're going straight. You didn't even start turning yet. Like, what are you doing?" Luckily, he was pretty nice. It looked like he was legit. He gave me his insurance and his number and other stuff. But yeah, not a great start to the rest of my night. It was not ideal. But yeah, that's the main thing grinding my gears right now. Lindsey, what's grinding your gears?
Well, I don't have much that grinds my gears, but I think I grind other people's gears, and here's why.
Yes.
Well, Samuel, when you mentioned your driving predicament with somebody hitting you, I remembered last weekend when my husband and I were driving to lunch, and we were at this intersection, and I was
Is it still Daniel?
Wait, what? It has and only ever will be Daniel.
Okay, that's good. I had to make sure. We hadn't clarified that yet. Okay, that's good.
Yes.
Back up.
My husband is Daniel Reed. Okay. Anyway, so I'm trying to pull into this side street that takes you to the restaurant, and I accidentally pull into the oncoming traffic side, and Daniel's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? What am I doing? I'm driving to the restaurant." And he's like, "You're in the wrong lane.
You can't do that for your people. The stereotype You know, it's like, again, I'm saying with a stereotype, not what I think, but it's women are bad drivers. But you can't do that because it doesn't make you guys look good. Like,
then I pulled into the parking spot, and I'm a notorious really bad parker. And I like curbed the curb.
Yeah, curb the curb.
You know, I don't know how you'd say that.
We'll work with it. That's good.
But anyway, I do that regularly, and Daniel was like, "You're about to lose your privileges
to drive."
Yeah.
Okay. You're about to lose your privileges to leave the house. I'm like, come on, you have to do this.
No, I'm just really bad at driving. So I think I think my driving skills grind his gears, and probably the people that I was passing as I was trying to pull in, just staring at me like, "What is she doing? What is that person doing?"
So your grinds your gears is actually what Daniel's grinds his gears would be.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
that's
what
good.
grinds my gears is when I can hear people eating and chewing. And should I tell them about the podcast?
You can tell them about the podcast.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, it's not this podcast. I was listening to a podcast.
We'll call it like incoming something. Or making something, or like we won't call it becoming something. We'll call it like the Be So podcast, something like that.
Well, I wasn't gonna name any names.
No, I didn't name it either.
Okay. Well, anyway, so I'm listening to this podcast yesterday, and you could just tell that this guy's mouth was really dry, and it really bothered me because I just don't like noises like that.
Yeah.
And so I had to turn it off.
Do you do that with our podcast?
No.
Do you turn it off?
No. Well, no.
Dane?
Lindsey has a certain disposition to just be irritated and irritable.
That's not true. It's just that noises really get to me, and I don't know why.
Well, I'm glad
It kind of sucks.
It does.
And I feel bad, and I usually try not to say anything to people unless I'm really comfortable with them.
Yeah.
And in that situation, I'm alone, so I can just turn off the podcast, and it's fine. Nobody's feelings are hurt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know they are listeners of this podcast, so they will be hurt once they listen. But I mean, it's okay. Like we're one of the biggest podcasts in this part of the city.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. I mean, name 37 other podcasts in the city that are bigger than us.
I can't name any. That's how big we are. So, Dane, do you have any grinding your gears segments?
Of course, I have two actually.
Oh, I only asked for one, but okay.
Well, number one, quickly, fall photos. All these white women, people, keep making us like dress up and take photos.
They're making you dress up?
Well, yeah, because you got to get.
Do you mind?
Yeah, she said she doesn't like the noises. You can't do this on the pod.
You got to get so they make you dress up in like fancy clothes so that you can stand and take a photo as a family. And I'm like, okay, so you know what I'm going to think about when I see that photo?
Yes.
The fact that we stood there, didn't want to take this photo, didn't want to wear these clothes, and it's all staged. So I'm like, what's the point of family photos, but also just fall photos in general? I'm like, take a more natural photo of we're having a good time, blah, blah, blah.
You were literally just hating on family photos last night and how you think they're dumb and you don't know why people hang them up on the wall.
Yeah, it grinds my gears.
Yeah. Yep.
The other one's hospital food for obvious reasons. It sucks.
Why is it obvious?
Because Dane was in the hospital all last week.
I'm sorry.
And
hey, please no coughing on the podcast. Yes. Yeah, you're
okay.
good?
And then obviously because their milkshakes suck. Their chicken tenders suck. Their pasta was okay.
Okay, that's good.
Mostly everything just wasn't good, but also when you have cancer, nothing sounds good. So then it's like, well, I don't want any of this. So what I'm saying is,
what are you saying?
Not like this next week, but the following week.
Okay.
I need you to bring me food.
Okay. I think my sister was like, hey, see when Dane needs food. So if you need food, I guess you can always send her a text.
Well, I don't want people to bring me their homemade food. I want you to bring me Chick-fil-A.
That's so nice of you. That's really good right there. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing your grinding your gears segments. And I think originally we weren't going to go in this order, but I think this is a good opportunity because of your fall photo predicament that we're going to take this negative and turn it into a positive. And we're going to draft what we believe are our top fall activities or top parts of the fall season. And I think we'll go top 4 each. I don't think we've done this with 3 people. Oh, actually, we did do it with Michael. We drafted states.
And Abby.
Do we do it with her?
I don't know.
I don't think we had this segment yet with her. But yeah, I think we'll do it here. Dane, how do you want the order to go? You can choose.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to say 3, 2, 1, and you hold up a number between 1 and 3.
Yeah.
That doesn't work, actually. Never mind.
You could just say...
Jake Trust and Art's going to pick.
Okay, Jake Trust and Art. Yeah, we are actually in Jake Trust and Art's home again to record our secondary studio, and he's going to pick who he thinks should draft first, second, and third. And you can do it if you come and talk into the mic, because I don't want you just to tell us. I want you to get close so that people... So it'll be 4 people like the olden days when Lane would occasionally talk.
Hello. Yep. All right, we're going to start off. We're going to go 1.
He pointed to me.
2,
and they pointed to
3.
Lindsey.
Jake, I literally
Lindsey,
shook my head.
You said I didn't make you
Jake, I
first.
freaking have
I made you
cancer.
second. There you go. 1, 2, 3. There you go.
Okay.
I'll remember
He said I was going first, and then Lindsey, and then Dane, and then it'll be Dane again, and then Lindsey, and then me, because that's how a snake draft works, you know? We've done this before.
A snake draft?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll go, and then you go, and then Dane goes twice, and then you go, and then I go twice, and then you go, and then so on and so forth.
So we're doing like name one thing at a time.
Yes.
I understand.
So that's what we're going to do here, because, you know,
Okay,
we're
sorry.
picking what we think are our top activities, and we can't choose the same thing, because that's horrible.
I think I'm really bad at this because I'm pretty indecisive.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you have to just work on the fly. Luckily, I have notes.
I am a teacher, so I'm pretty good at working on the fly.
I thought you just said you're not good at working on the fly.
I said I'm
Fly fishing?
indecisive.
Okay.
But when you're working with the youth of America, you gotta
the youth,
figure it out.
Yeah. Okay. Shout out all our youth listeners.
Well,
Number 1, I'm gonna choose. I think it's gonna go really well with what Dane was saying with all the white women, and I'm gonna choose pumpkin spice. I think especially the fall season, pumpkin spice becomes like a very relevant flavor in coffees across the world. By across the world, I mean really just the U.S. because no one else likes what we do. I don't know. That's the taste of a pumpkin spice latte, preferably hot. It just makes me feel like I'm in the fall season. Like you only get it this time of year, partially because it's pretty good. It's not completely amazing, but in this time of year, it's very solid. And I think for that reason, I'll have pumpkin spice as my number 1 pick of this draft. Lindsey, it is your turn. What do you choose with your number 1 overall pick?
I think my number 1 overall pick would be the change in the fall colors.
What color specifically?
I really like red.
Okay, that's nice.
When the trees turn red. And I say this because Dane's doing his Be Real.
Yeah,
so.
I was like, what's happening right now?
I kinda have to
we got to
pause.
keep talking. We don't want to have all the dead space.
Okay, sorry.
Hey, we're good. We're good. It's
Anyways,
not your fault.
I really like all the fall colors and just the change of the leaves. I really like being outside in nature, and it feels really comfortable to be outside. I just think it's really pretty.
Yep.
And you have to kind of enjoy it while you can because it's really short-lived. So
Okay,
that's my
good.
number 1.
That's a good pick. Dane, you have back-to-back picks. What are you going to go with here?
Lindsay's was dumb.
That was nice.
You're the worst person I've ever met in my life.
Hey, Dane, so what...
I win.
Okay, so what are your 2 picks here? Yeah, that was a great first pick. Was that actually your first pick, that noise, or is it something else?
No, that's not my first pick.
That's a good volume level. I like that, Dane.
Dang it.
Thank you.
My first pick is going to be football.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even have that down as one of my picks.
You guys are dummies.
I'm surprised you picked that because you are a Cowboys fan, and typically I feel like this would be a disappointing part of the year for you.
Well, Samuel, you as a Packers fan, tell me how that's going.
Okay, our number 1 running back, Aaron Jones, he played 1 game this year, which they dominated, and then he hasn't played since, besides like 4 snaps. I think once they have him back in the mix, I think they'll have a good chance to really fight in that division. I don't think the Lions are as good as what the record says. And I think a lot of people would probably agree with that statement. So I think the Packers could start turning the tables. So we'll see how it goes. But this is your pick. Just tell me about the football and Cowboys and how they lose.
No, the Cowboys are looking excellent, but you want to know? Oh man, you want a free
You a band?
bonus? You want a free bonus? What grinds my gears? Michael Evelyn McCarthy.
I thought you were going to say Michael Fuller, and
No,
I was confused.
Michael Fuller too, but-
Yeah.
No, Mike McCarthy makes me so mad.
Yeah, I talked with. I'm interrupting you right now. I was talking with one of my friends the other day, and he's a Cowboys fan as well, so I feel bad for him. But he was giving me some crap, I think, about like Aaron Jones, and then he was saying that if they utilized. If their coach utilized Aaron Jones correctly, they would be good. And I'm like, well, yeah, he's not like a super great coach, but at least he's better than Mike McCarthy, and he agreed. So did you have something to say, Lindsey?
I did.
Thank you for raising your hand. That was really nice of you.
I noticed that the Packers are 2-3 and the Cowboys are 4-2.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
And so I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I just thought we should discuss that because you regularly mention. Nope.
Yeah.
Still me. Still me.
I'm still agreeing. I'm like, yeah.
okay.
I'm like saying, yeah. That's part of the podcast. I kind of give you feedback like this.
Dang it.
I've done this 42 times,
And-
not 43.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
This is my first time.
Mhm.
You keep mentioning how the Cowboys lose
They
and
do.
how they suck. And
They do, yeah.
So
I
I,
agree.
just kind of find it.
agree.
No, I didn't say that. I'm
You just
I'm
did.
quoting
You
what
just
you
did.
said.
Mhm. I can edit it where it makes it where you said it. So this is cool.
Well,
That's a good point.
well, your Packers are 4-2. I mean,
Thank you.
2-3.
See, she said it right there.
I'm done. Sorry.
No, I agree. They don't have a great record right now, and that's off the point I just made with their number one running back, who's one of the top running backs in the NFL. He has not played since the very first week, and because they lost Aaron Rodgers, who is arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks of our generation,
I disagree.
I said he's arguably one of the greatest. So that's the argue part, where you can disagree, arguably.
Not the greatest, but
Yeah,
he's up
I said
there.
arguably. I didn't say he was the greatest because that would get too much, controversy, and we try to avoid controversy on this podcast.
That's just not true.
Yeah.
But losing him and then going to a quarterback who's been sitting on the bench practically for 3 years is not. It takes a little bit of time to transition in football. That
You're
is.
transitioning?
I said in football. I'm stopping there. That was a very high-pitched laugh. So that's why their record is not as good as what it should be. But I think if Aaron Jones would have been in and been healthy the past 4 weeks, I think they would probably be at least 3-2, which is reasonable because they just lost a couple games. They could potentially be 4-1, but I think we'll get a good idea how their team actually plays going forward with him being healthy.
And Christian
Yes.
Watson.
Yeah, he's also is injured. Thank you for helping me here. So yeah, I know the record is not great right now, but again, they haven't had their best player has not been playing. So
I think Jair Alexander is your best player.
Sounds like you're full of excuses.
I think I made a pretty good argument right there.
Well, that's all I heard.
I think you'll be better, but however, the Cowboys are the best team ever. And
Yep, okay.
Now, if we fired Mike McCarthy and let anybody else call the plays,
You just said you're the best ever. Why would you need to fire your coach?
because sometimes I get nervous on airplanes. But
We're not quoting that. Back to our breakdown.
Yeah, I don't think we really had. I think it was actually Dane's turn. I think he was just
Yeah, it
saying
is.
football. So
I chose football as number one because obviously football is amazing.
yeah, obviously.
And the second one I'm going to pick is cooler weather.
Oh, nice.
Because colder weather is better. You can dress better. You can just not feel the blazing sun and all of its rays giving you the skin cancer on the face.
Oh.
And instead, you're just like, oh, I think I might go on a walk today.
Yeah, I was gonna say too soon. Okay, so you got some Cowboys football, cooler weather. That's good. That's good. That's good. Lindsay, it is back to you. What would you pick with your number 2 overall pick of the top fall activities, time of the year, etc.?
For number 2, I would put fall food.
Okay.
Because I kind of feel like it's that transition to
Yeah.
soups and
So the
like-
food, not the
Chili.
drinks. You didn't want to include
Well,
the pumpkin spice, like I said, because
that's what I
the
was
same.
about to say. Like it's the food, you have like pumpkin bread, pumpkin spice lattes.
Oh, she just took what my pick was.
Dane took what my pick was by
I know,
talking
he
about
took
the
mine
weather.
too.
Yeah.
Well, where doesn't specify hers is mainly just the food part,
Yeah.
not the drinks as much. She can go food.
Well, I
took
just
the
like
drink.
pumpkin anything.
Okay, that works. That
So,
works. We'll give you that.
There's lots of pumpkin dessert. So, anyways. Ooh,
Chili.
I said soups.
I like chili.
I made a really good potato soup last weekend.
You look like a potato.
Send help.
That was such a loud, high pitch. You sound like a hyena from The
I
Lion
was
King.
just thinking that.
Yeah, it was. Why did you go? Now you had the sound already down, and then you went a different route. So
Lindsay is a potato head. So
okay, great analysis there. For my next pick, I like how I have back-to-back picks here. I think it helps me out quite a bit because originally I was going to pick specifically walking outside and not immediately getting sweaty because hyperhidrosis life. But you picked cooler weather, so I feel like that doesn't really count. For that reason, I'm going to pick not Halloween specifically because I'm a Christian, but we'll just call it fall parties where we dress up. Basically just the same as a Halloween party. But I know, especially in college, we had a lot of fall parties where we would again dress up and everything and have chili and whatever else, and that was fun. And then also us being in K Life, there's also a fall party coming up, which should be enjoyable and fun. And hopefully,
I won't be there.
I figured that was probably the case. But yeah, I mean that's just an enjoyable time, to spend with friends and see people that you might not see as much. So that's very good for my number 2 pick. She's trying to look at my picks right now, trying to steal some of mine. I wasn't going to pick the parties there for this next reason because I thought my pick might be chosen by one of you, but because I have back-to-back, I can just go straight for it. And I'm going to pick Thanksgiving because that is...
That racist holiday?
It is... Wow. It is one of the best holidays, not for the reason that Dane said, but right behind like Christmas, I would put Thanksgiving there. I really enjoy just having like time off of work, or if you're in school, having time off of school, etc. Getting to spend time with family, watching the Macy's Day Parade. It depends if I wake up in time.
Why?
It's just nostalgic, you know.
People just march down the street. I mean, what does that remind you of?
I went
Nazi Germany.
Dane.
Wow. Jack literally
You are so controversial.
he left a message and he literally just put like communism. It always comes back to communism with you.
No, they were fascist.
Actually, that was Michael, I guess.
Yeah.
This is
Nazi Germany was fascist.
No, stop. Yeah, I was going to say I went to a parade this morning. I went to Missouri State. They had their homecoming and had a parade, and it was pretty fun as well. But besides that, they also have, I know, Lindsey, have you ever done like a turkey trot or something on Thanksgiving Day?
No, we never did, just because when we would be in cross country, we weren't allowed to do any sort of like outside competition and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's in our, but it's like in between cross country and indoor track season. So no.
So with you being done with college cross country, do you think you'll see yourself doing that sometime in the future, or that's good.
I've always wanted to eventually like run a marathon, and a goal from since I was in high school was to qualify for a Boston Marathon.
Yep.
Have I ever started training for that? Absolutely not. I've only been done for 3 years, but I mean, I've gotten back into coaching middle school cross country and track, so I've been running a lot more. It's been a lot of fun. Reminds me how much I miss it. So maybe in the future.
Okay.
TBD.
Nice. Yeah. I did it last year. I didn't train very much, but I actually had a somewhat decent time, but I plan on doing it again this year, and I hopefully will go much faster than last time, because most of the time I start out really well, but then that's only for like the first 2 miles, and then you have to run another mile, and that's just not great for me. But it is still fun. Still fun to do. Get some nice coffee afterwards. It hits different. But
for sure.
Yeah. So Thanksgiving, everything that's kind of involved with Thanksgiving would be my number 3 pick, and that means we're going back to you, Lindsey. What do you want for your third pick?
Well, my third pick would be fall clothes, and I say that just because it's sweater
queen.
Weather, flannels.
Yes.
Did you say yes, queen?
Yes.
Okay. And you start wearing like boots, and I just like
Uggs?
No.
Okay.
Well, no.
Well, okay, no.
I used to have Uggs, but I don't have Uggs anymore.
Okay, Dane uses them now, right?
For sure.
No, because I'm a naturally warm person.
Yeah, he is a naturally sweaty person. I'm not.
You're sweaty.
I'm very cold. I never thought I would be the person that sleeps with socks on, but I have to.
She's actually in an Eskimo outfit right now. You can't see on the podcast.
But I do think it's a little chilly in here. Well, I think as I've gotten older, I've gotten colder, and I don't really understand why. But like in Nebraska, we sleep with flannel sheets, and I sleep with socks on. And it's just always really cold.
Yeah, I get that. I don't get that because I didn't live there, but I mean, it is cold in Missouri as well at times.
Yeah, and then you move more north, and you're like, oh my gosh, I thought Missouri was cold. It's not.
Okay, that's a good pick. That's solid right there. Dane, what are your final 2 picks going to be?
So Lindsey's pick was just not good.
Yeah.
For 1, and for 2, I'm going to choose hunting.
Oh,
Bro, you don't even hunt anymore.
That's just not true.
Yeah, no, it is true.
He's just trying to get votes from the public, because being in Missouri, and a lot of our listeners probably like to kill their good old animal every once in a while. But do you want to?
No, all you ever would do would fall asleep in the tree stand and complain about how you don't want to go. So
well, let's
go
to
enjoy
the
that
tally.
though. It could be again nostalgic for him.
Let's go to the tally of Lindsey.
Don't start this.
Who has harvested more deer?
Start this. Okay, Dane started hunting when you were like 7?
No, I was sitting with Dad at 7, and I started hunting at 9.
Okay, so keep in mind, Dane's a year older than me, so by the time Dane starts hunting, I'm 8. I don't even start sitting with our dad until I'm 10. By that point, Dane's 11. Then the following year, I start hunting and actually killing deer at 11. Okay, so I'm years behind Dane. Dane. And then as soon as I start hunting, I instantly start killing nicer and more deer than him.
Wait.
True.
Why are you targeting the nicer deer? That's kind of mean on your part.
That's such a good point.
Yeah,
I'm done. Okay, anyways.
Specifically the male deer.
So Dane has like 4 or 5 years extra of hunting on me, and he's only killed one more deer than me.
Okay.
So...
Well, let's talk about it. So, Lindsay,
Oh my gosh.
true or false?
Don't tell this story.
No,
No,
it's not a story.
Hey, we can cut it out. We're not going to cut it
No,
out.
it's not a story.
Yeah.
Lindsay, true or false? You were given preferential stand treatment because you were a woman.
False. I always claimed the best spot on the property because that's what smart people do. And I don't know. I just said what I was going to do, and then nobody said that I couldn't go there. So I kept going there, and I religiously hunted that stand. And you know what? There was so many times that I didn't see a deer or kill a deer there, but I was faithful to that stand because I knew it was a good spot. And guess what? It played out in my favor. And then the one time, you punched me in the ribs.
Lindsay hit me.
Stop.
Oh, no. Charlie bit me.
I can't.
Lindsay looks like Charlie.
Whatever.
So, okay. I guess we're just stop there. So, Hunting, do you have anything else to say, or do you just want to go into your fourth pick?
My fourth pick is election season.
Oh, wow. That was a horrible pick. Gosh, what's wrong with you?
You're so controversial.
I know. I don't actually enjoy election season. I just wanted to say that.
What?
Because I like seeing people get riled up for no reason. And some would call me, let's just say, a contrarian.
Oh. Was that it?
I mean, that's about it. Because, vote for Jesus, guys.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's good. You did mention that on the long voice memo you sent like a few weeks ago,
Yeah,
where it was
he
like
did.
7 minutes of me holding my phone right next to the mic. And I'm like, this is getting a little painful, but it's content, so we're going to work with it. Okay, so those are your 4 picks. Lindsay, again, it's back to you. This is your last pick. No pressure.
Mine's kind of a 4 for 1.
Ooh, like Wendy's.
I would never do
Oh,
that.
good. True.
It's like pumpkin patches, bonfires, the football vibes, like just sort of the
taking
ambiance of
everything.
fall. But in Omaha, which is where I live, there's this pumpkin patch that's called Vallis, and it's basically the Disney World of fall. And Daniel and I have gone the last 3 falls that we've been there, and it's amazing. It's like a fall connoisseur's dream come true, and I love fall. It's my favorite season. So just things like that.
Okay, that's
You're
good.
so white.
I mean, I think we all are here, but
Whoa.
I don't know if I want to go down this route, but okay. Jake's looking at it in the distance. He's like, next segment. I might cut that out. Who knows? So my last pick, again, we've gone through some great selections. And I think for my final pick, there's only one natural selection that should happen here after having Halloween parties, Thanksgiving, and also Christmas music. Yes, it is a Christmas music season.
No.
Yes. Mariah Carey has been thawing out for about a month now, and she's about ready.
She's thawing, but she's not open.
That was Mariah Carey on the podcast. But yeah, Christmas music. Again, Christmas is the best holiday. It's not even close with any other holidays.
Agreed.
And fall is really just the pregame for Christmas. Like, it's a great time to get that Christmas music going. I think the earliest I've ever put up my Christmas decorations was slightly before Halloween. I don't think I'll push it that far. This was a while. This was back in my homeschool days.
That makes so much sense.
I had to fend off the devil in some capacity, so that was my way of doing it.
Oh, wow.
But nowadays it's more like early November, so probably sometime in the next few weeks is when Christmas decorations will start going up. And it will be amazing in so many ways. Yes?
I'm a big Christmas person. Like, I love it, and I love...
Whatever you're about to say means you're not a big Christmas person, so say it.
That's such a good point.
Whatever.
You're a big Christmas person.
No,
so.
I love Christmas, and some people will say don't put anything out until December 1st. Okay, I'm like day after Thanksgiving, let's go. But I think that if you put stuff out before Thanksgiving, it kind of takes away from Thanksgiving.
I see the argument there, but at the same time, like, you want to enjoy. I think they really, for me, they overlap really well, where I get to have like the Christmas nostalgia while Thanksgiving's happening as well. Because for the most part, what are you really like? There's how many Thanksgiving songs are there? Like Ben Rector has a Thanksgiving song. There's not many other ones. Like there's not like you can still have your fall decorations out, but you have that nice kind of transition zone where you have some fall and then you have some Christmas. It is nice.
It does make me sad that for fall decor, I usually put mine out like September 1st or at least like right after Labor Day. So it's there for a while if I keep it up until the day after Thanksgiving. Yeah. And then for how short the Christmas stuff is out, because after the New Year, you feel like you kind of should probably move on with life. And it makes me sad for how short
I took down my Christmas tree, I think,
out.
in March last year.
Oh, wow.
It took a while.
Yeah. Are you okay?
I don't know.
Okay.
I also started the podcast around that time, so I think that took up some of my taking down Christmas tree time.
Yeah. Okay.
That's good.
Christmas-themed anything should go up December 20th and come down December 26th.
No, and I think that's ridiculous.
I agree with you.
Let's do Christmas. I'm super excited. The second Thanksgiving dinner is over.
See, so something else with me is there's so many Christmas decorations, especially like growing up, that we would put up, and it takes so long to put everything up. Like we can't, it's not logical to start after Thanksgiving because then we wouldn't have it all up by December 1st because I'm legitimately that it's so many trees and like hundreds if not thousands of ornaments. So
you're more of a gradual release kind of person.
Yeah, so we try to knock out a lot, but some parts do take a bit longer. So if we start earlier, then it helps that process. Otherwise, it just takes way too long. Puts too much stress like in the short amount of Christmas season you do have. Dane, yes?
My Christmas decor is a winter jacket.
That's really good stuff for you.
That's very white single man bachelor of you to say.
Thank you.
But yeah, okay. So those were our picks. I had pumpkin spice, Halloween parties, Thanksgiving, and Christmas music.
We need some clarification. Is it pumpkin spice and everything nice?
I'm not going everything nice because then I'm just taking all of fall.
Such a good point.
Yeah, so that's why I specified only pumpkin spice. Dane, you picked football specifically. I think the Cowboys, cooler weather, hunting, and election season. That's horrible. And then Lindsey, you had the change in fall colors, fall food, sweater weather. That's so hard to say. Sweater weather, and pumpkin patches, especially like the Disney World of Fall in Omaha. I heard that Peyton Manning runs that place, right?
Peyton Manning?
Yeah, it's in Omaha, right?
No.
Omaha.
Yeah, it's a joke for our football fans because he would always say Omaha like when he was playing quarterback.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was a deep. It was a deep cut. It was a deep cut.
Play. It's an indicator.
He would just yell Omaha before he would do his plays.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like when people are like, green 800.
Yeah, Dane.
Omaha. Set. Omaha.
There we go. Thank you.
I understand.
So yeah, those were our fall activities that we wanted to draft. Do you have any other honorable mentions you want to say really quick while I pull up this voice memo?
Yeah. So Patrick Mahomes is turbo. He'll be like, turbo, set. Which is an indicator. Yeah. Just like basically, hey, everybody, we need to snap this quickly. Peyton Manning's was just Omaha.
Yeah. That's good. That's
cool.
Lindsey, explain your favorite team now.
Well, I usually don't have a team that I'm really into. It's usually just one person. And currently I really like Kirk Cousins because he's just great in every way. Yeah. And so I think because of that, I kind of like the Vikings. They're not all that far from Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah. I think the Chiefs are okay, but I like they're great. Obviously, I don't want to say the
Chiefs are disgusting.
I don't want to say they're overrated, but I think I usually don't like to like the things that everybody likes.
Yeah,
like sports teams and stuff. And then I refuse to root for the Cowboys.
What's your favorite fast food restaurant?
I don't like fast food.
Okay. Well, then that point wasn't going to make sense for me. I was hoping you'd say Chick-fil-A, and it would have worked really well.
Well, I do like Chick-fil-A, but if it's like I don't know. I mean, I think Taco Bell's fine.
Woo! Oh, Taco Bell's solid. It is solid. Okay. But yeah, any other thoughts there? Sorry, I interrupted your thought process.
No.
Okay, that's good. This really quickly, we had a voice memo come in on September 6th from Allie Hoopy, big fan of the podcast, has sent in a voice memo in the past. And I was going to play this for myself and Dane, and then Dane was being kind of inconsiderate, and he got cancer, so he wasn't on the podcast for a while.
Yeah. You're not really thinking of the people of the podcast.
Yeah, we were really going off, and then you're like, hey, I got to take a hiatus for a little bit.
My body was attacking me.
But yeah, so she sent this voice memo in, and it was kind of for the both of us. So I don't remember what was said, but you were included. So we're going to play it now and respond as needed.
Hey, Dane and Samuel, this is Allie Hoopy again. I'm still here, I'm still listening, and I'm back with another voice memo. So I have a couple of things to say. First off, I would like to say that I'm with Alvaro, aka Latino Mr. Beast. It is very concerning that Dane is a Cowboys fan, but we'll let it slide. That's beside the point. So I have a question and a draft idea. My question is, what will be your dream job? One serious one funny one, because I'm sure Dane will say Mountain Dew taste tester or something as his dream job. And my draft idea is, I don't think you guys have done this before, but it's best sports movies in honor of the NFL, starting tomorrow when I'm recording this. I'm recording this Wednesday. Anyways, thanks for the laughs, guys. See ya.
Thank you, Allie. That's a very good draft idea. I'll put that down on the list of items to do, hopefully in the future when Dane's available again. Who knows? And then for the serious... Was it serious
TBD.
job? Was it serious job and unserious job?
Yeah.
Dream job.
Dream job.
Both serious and not serious.
I mean, kind of. So serious. I mean, it's not really serious, but it's kind of serious. I'd be the GM for the Cardinals because that would be an easy job to take over because John Mozeliak is trash.
Big facts. Trash.
So that would be an awesome job to have. Unserious job, which again, I don't know how you could have like an unserious dream job because, I mean... It's your dream job.
Does it maybe mean something that's like more unrealistic?
More silly.
Yeah. I got one. Full-time podcaster. Unserious dream job.
Right.
Laughs nervously. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything else other than that. I'll stick with it unless I have a better idea. But Dane, what about you? What are you thinking?
So you and I have the same like serious dream job being a GM, because that would just be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Like I read books about that and things like that. That's all I ever wanted to be after I figured out I wasn't going to go pro. Also, I don't know, not necessarily a pastor of a church, but just working for a church. That's what I'm trying to do right now. That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
But something sillier, it's like, I don't know, like, professional, not video gamer, but professional, like people just give me money and I go do whatever I want because I'm the man.
So kind of like Mr. Beast.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, she did mention Alvaro, who again, what we had mentioned before is Latino Mr. Beast. But yeah, that's good.
Alvaro reacts to my stories on Instagram sometimes.
He's a solid guy.
I love Alvaro.
Yeah, he is always up in the weeds of everything, so that's cool. I know even though they didn't ask you, Lindsey, we will allow you to give your take as well if you would like to. Do you have a...
Sounds like it's really hurtful to allow me.
I know. I'm sorry. I could have worded that better, but again, she didn't ask for... She didn't know you were going to be on here. But
Well,
I think this is a good time for you also to give whatever your dream job would be, both realistic, unrealistic, however you want to take that.
Yeah. Well, realistically, I had wanted to be a teacher since I was in 3rd grade, and I am a teacher, so I guess I got my dream. But it's also not everything you ever think it's going to be. So there's that. My current unrealistic dream would be to be a stay-at-home mom, but I'm not a mom, so that doesn't really make any sense.
That was going to be my unrealistic one, be a stay-at-home mom. It's not realistic because
you're not a girl.
You already said you're transitioning.
Oh,
Dane.
You
did.
I'll see what I want to do with that. Okay.
Anyway, would love to be a stay-at-home mom, but I mean, well, I do have 2 cats, so... And I am their mom.
So you're living the dream already.
Yeah.
Except for the stay-at-home part.
Well, every summer whenever I'm not teaching, I stay home with them, and I'm basically a stay-at-home wife with 2 cats, and it's fantastic.
That's cool. With Dano, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Nice.
Well, who else would I be with?
I don't know. I mean, you mentioned that earlier. I just want to make sure that it was still going okay because the podcast has gone on for about an hour.
That's such a good point. Things change.
I had to clarify, just making sure. That's good, though. That's good. I don't know. We don't really have a lot left. I don't know if there's anything else you had, like any final thoughts on, like any interesting stories.
I've got a great story.
This will be great.
And this is something that I've been wanting people from the podcast to hear for a really long time. So Dane always like randomly says the most ridiculous, untrue things about me, and then there's just a story that whenever I describe growing up with Dane, this is what it was like. Okay?
Whatever it is false.
No, it's not. And anyway, so we lived in the same house, obviously. My room's at the end of the hallway, and his is immediately to the left of mine. When I was in high school, I would...
Wait.
So one day, I guess Dane just wanted to wake me up. So what he did was he barged into my room while I'm asleep, grabbed my laundry basket, spewed the clothes everywhere, and just started kicking them around. Then he walks into my bathroom, turns on the light, pees in my shower while I'm laying in bed being like, get out, pees in my shower, doesn't even bother to run the water, and then just leaves. And he probably turned the lights on too. And that is exactly what it was like to grow up with Dane. So podcast listeners, every time you hear him say something about me, I guarantee and promise you it's false. And I just want you to remember how he peed in my shower and never ran the water.
Wait, so anything he says is false about you?
Yes.
Well, you didn't hear an unreleased episode where he said you're his favorite sister. He
I'm
loves
his
you.
only sister.
Just kidding.
My one and only retort to that is that...
Good word.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I thought he said twerk.
My
one and only twerk.
my one and only twerk to that.
No, my only one and only retort
Yeah.
is that Lindsey is just jealous that my mustache is thicker than hers.
That, I mean, he's not wrong.
That's just... I just don't even have a comment because that's so...
But yours is coming in nice.
He does have a very thick mustache. I might need to take a picture of him to post at some point for that very reason. He's looking...
still alive.
Yeah, he is.
That's insensitive.
Well, he started the podcast with Daddy's Back.
Mm-hmm. I mean...
Like, and
Was there
I'm
a false
still
statement?
and I'm still here.
Yeah. I mean, that is true. We hadn't heard any voice memos from you in a while. I usually just say, like, hey, you're doing well. Whether you're doing well or not, I just say it because I feel like that's a nice thing to say. See, I actually haven't talked to him since this all went down, so this is nice seeing you again.
No, I mean, everything's going pretty good, like, as far as the cancer stuff.
You gave the rundown earlier, so you better
Yeah.
not give it again.
No, I'm not going to give a rundown. It's just like, being in the hospital kind of sucked, but it's like, you know, you got to do what you got to do kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I feel like you have up and down days, and obviously the chemo was hard on you.
the chemo was, pretty hard for like 3 days. And like, after I got it, actually, during it actually, I don't know, I didn't feel great, but like I felt pretty fine. But yeah, it just sucks being trapped and not being able to do anything, and like I have so many precautions that I need to take now, and like that part is probably just the worst part of it sucking and whatnot.
I'm just glad they said you could still do the podcast. Or they didn't say directly, hey, don't do any podcasts now. That's kind of against your treatment plan.
I didn't mention it to my doctor.
Why don't you? There's so many people. That could boost the views.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think he wants to listen to the podcast.
I mean, he'd probably lose brain cells listening.
Well, and also if he's doing a surgery and he's listening to it in the background, like he would laugh so much, he would just make a wrong cut.
Yeah.
It would go downhill
Yeah.
fast. I don't know if he does that part of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the difference. Is technically I've had 2 surgeries so far. And I've had 3 different doctors. 2.
None could handle you long enough. Is that the situation here?
Yes.
No. I had a urologist, I don't know.
They help with peeing, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Actually, wait, that's actually probably true. I
is,
was trying to make a
yeah.
joke. Oops.
No. So urologist did a surgery on me. Then I had a guy who put my port in that did a surgery on me. I don't know what he is called.
Porter.
technically. Porter, maybe. Yeah. And then I have an oncologist, which is a cancer doctor.
Nice.
But he has not done any surgeries on me.
Okay. Very, very good. I almost forgot to mention, we mentioned it, I think, briefly earlier, but there has been about a month and a half to 2 months between when you said your number 10 through 6 haters on your haters list, and you still need to say your top 5. Like, the people have been asking, actually, there legitimately have been some people asking, like, hey, what are his top 5 haters? And this is a perfect opportunity. Like, who are your top 5 haters? We don't need to run down the other 10. If you want to get a recap of those, listen to episode 37, boost those views. Also, if you had not listened to episodes 1 through 36, do that as well. And then also 38 through 42. And also follow us on our Instagram at Until Next Week Podcast and our Twitter at Until Next Week, and leave us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And also leave us a written review and maybe a voice memo and anything else. And that'd be cool. And that's all I have to say about that.
We have a Twitter?
Yeah.
Nice.
There's only like 3 followers because no one goes on Twitter anymore.
Yeah,
and
X.
Threads was trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, coming in at number 5 of my top haters.
Yes.
You smell.
Wow.
Lindsey, I have cancer, which ironically is number 5.
Oh,
cancer.
Number 5 is cancer, man.
Number 5 is cancer.
Wow.
It
Wait, so 4 people are going to be worse than your cancer for haters. Wow.
Because it's pretty tough when you're having surgeries and spending all this money. Cancer's rather expensive, people. So really just the depletion of the bank account is why cancer is number 5. And also just, the scariness that comes with it and stuff like that.
But again, there's four worse than that. So what's number 4? Who's number 4?
4 worse. So number 4 is the women of K-Life.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I'm pretty sure they've been really kind to you.
Yeah.
I mean,
and some of them still listen to the podcast. So you should specify I don't actually know how you want to specify that. If you listen to the podcast, we don't mean you. I don't mean any of this. I'm not saying it. Dane's saying it.
Maddie Barron.
Oh my gosh.
What's her face?
Wow.
What's her face?
That make her feel so great you don't know her name.
Cara Larimore. That's her name.
Dang.
Julie.
She wanted to be on the podcast at some point.
Did she?
Yeah, I think she did. They said it at the K-Life retreat, which you skipped out on.
Once again.
You had surgery like that morning or the day before. Yeah.
Yep.
Her, Julie.
Julie was last. She was already in your top 10.
I know, but Taylor. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Wow.
Chloe. And
yeah. You want to say any more? Wow, that's really nice.
All big haters.
Okay. Oh, gosh. Okay. Number 3.
So number 3 is the U.S. government.
Oh, that's interesting because elections was your number 1 fall activity.
I know, but as we all know, elections are dumb because the moral of the story is you pick the lesser of 2 evils, and that's not how a government should be ran.
You gave the rundown on your voice memo a few weeks ago, episode 39, I think.
Exactly. You should not have to pick the lesser of 2 evils. I don't want to stand by that. So, yeah, the U.S. government needs to just figure it out. They keep shutting down, firing the Speaker of the House, and they don't actually care about getting anything done. They just care about the other side not getting things done. And also, have you looked at the cost of living? And have you looked at just roads in general? Not much is getting done.
Yeah.
So that's where I say the U.S. government, big haters. I've yet to receive a tax break, but we're working on it. So we'll see what happens there.
Okay. Number 2 on your haters list.
Number 2 is somebody who I did not mention in the Women of K-Life.
Okay.
Abby Palmer.
Why?
How is she your number 2?
She was on the podcast, and then you basically named. So was she included with the K-Life women?
No, she's not included because she has her own special spot because of what I'm getting ready to say.
I think she was episode 7 or 8 for you people who have not listened to her episode.
Yeah. So we've always been, as she's described, frenemies. Because, I don't know, we like to bicker a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, so Dane gets cancer, right? And then
she blocked you on all social medias.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But no, she.
I'm just kidding.
I see her at church, and I said, "Abby, do you hate me less now that I have cancer?" And she goes, "I wouldn't say that." And she goes,
oh, "Wow."
I said, "Are we friends now?" She goes, "That's too close. We're still frenemies." And I said,
okay. Yeah, she deserves that number 2 spot.
I know, right? So the number 2. Abby Palmer, which I'm not actually mad at her or nothing like that. But yeah.
But you can be not mad at her, but she's still one of your top haters.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not mad at any of these
These are people who are your haters, not people that you hate.
Yeah.
We just got to clarify that for all you, everybody, basically. Except for cancer, we hate you.
Oh, yeah, we do hate cancer.
And the government, we hate you. But everybody else, you're good.
Samuelson, quote, "I hate the government."
I mean, you just said, I don't love it.
Now you're going to disappear.
Low key.
But the podcast will live on forever.
That's true. Michael Fuller.
Yeah, he'll bring it back.
But number 1.
Yes.
This has been a long time coming. And there's a certain someone who...
Satan, right?
No, we had to... Okay, backstory to Satan. We had to change the definition of hater a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah. Because Satan would have to most likely be number 1. I think you had a number 3 one year.
I had him number 3, and there was 2 people above Satan.
Which is understandable, honestly.
Well...
I like to call him Lucy. Because it's Lucifer, you know?
Dang it. Leviathan.
Yeah,
So... Number 1.
Travis Kelce?
No, not Travis Kelce.
Okay.
but the haters are gonna hate. I'm just gonna shake because next to me is the number one hater
crap. It's gonna
and
be me.
4-time defending
Good.
champion, Lindsey the Belly Reed.
When you say that.
Lindsey, care to make a
Wow.
statement? Please step to the podium.
Wow, this is so good.
I do feel honored for being recognized for my consistency. I am consistent.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And someone has to keep Dane in check. You know, when I got married and moved away,
Mm-hmm.
people were like, who's going to call him out?
Yeah.
Who's going to keep him accountable for the things he says
actually
and
did
does?
say that.
Yeah, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do still from afar.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I come in town, I definitely, keep him humble
Mm-hmm.
because he's ridiculous.
Yep.
Give me 37 examples of me being ridiculous.
Hey, this is already a long episode. Just give like one.
I don't have any examples.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's fine.
Oh!
Wow.
Someone call that a fallacy then, Lindsey.
Okay. Hey, it's all good. I mean, we can always have her. She can send in the voice memo if she thinks of other ideas in the future. But
Well, here's the thing is that I don't need ideas. I don't need examples. People just already know.
That is true.
So-
That is true. Well, congratulations on being number one
Thank you.
in this list. I think it was kind of expected for a while now. Secretly, I think Dane just wanted to have you on here so he could say it to your face. Because he didn't want you to find out via the podcast.
Well,
he wanted you to be on the
yeah,
podcast to say
yeah.
it to your face.
Last
And
year-
Satan could not make it.
Yeah. Well, last
Yeah.
year he gave me like a plaque award for being his number one hater
Yeah.
again. Like for Christmas, that was my gift.
Well, you never know. Dane, do you have something to say? Are you going to...
So she got last year, I gave gifts.
Yeah.
But I said,
you?
kind of, the gift of
Life.
laughter and life. But also, I presented people with certain awards that fit their personality. And they were all plaques or trophies of certain kinds.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
surprisingly, it's like $10 a trophy. Let's do that.
Yeah, you can get it.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Participation trophy generation. It's easy to get those.
Oh, yeah. So Lindsey got 2022 Player Hater of the Year. And now, look at Lindsey, 2023 Player Hater of the
Do
Year.
you think there's a chance you'll take that trophy back and re-engrave it? Or do you think you might have another award coming for her at some point?
No comment.
Okay. I figured you wouldn't say anything with her being so close. But that's good. Congratulations. I'm happy for you that
Thank you.
again, that are number one again on this
Thank
list
you.
and being recognized for what you deserve here. Yes.
You do deserve this.
I think that's a great transition from going to our haters to the person who makes us love and forgives our haters. And that is our number one sponsor of the week, Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
Jake's in the background and raised his hand.
It's like, amen. Amen.
Wow.
We have a verse of the week. Dane, he is back, so he will read that verse of the week. I heard it was Isaiah 27:1, I
Yep.
believe.
It's so it reads, in that day the Lord will the Lord with his hard and great and strong sword will punish Leviathan, the fleeing serpent, Leviathan, the twisting serpent, and he will slay the dragon that is in the sea. And so it's a really cool and wonderful reminder that we know who wins. And we, like, in a lot of like these kind of, darker times, especially whenever, you have cancer and things like that. It's hard to be focused on like the actual good that is going on in your life. And the fact that like Jesus wins, like we know what happens at the end of the story. We know how the book ends. And so in these day-to-day trials and tribulations, like it's, really awesome and important to keep our mindset on that. So yeah, Jesus wins.
That's nice. I think we're just going to go straight into our number 2 sponsor of the week. It's Jake Trustinart.
There he is, Jake
and he's in the
Trustinart.
back. I'm gonna look. He's pumped up. He's running around. He tore off his shirt.
Oh, he's
Look,
naked now.
Oh wow. Oh, Lindsey's here. Stop it,
Lindsey,
He
shield
is
your
in his
eyes.
own house, so he is allowed to do that. But I wasn't expecting that to happen. But I am excited that he's so excited to be our number 2 sponsor and for giving us the mass amounts of money that he sends us every month. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without him.
What's number 3, Samuel?
Oh, we're just jumping straight into it. Yeah, Jake, you had your time, so there you go. Number 3 is chemotherapy.
Yeah. Samuel asked me what number 3 should be, and I was like, well, how about chemotherapy?
Well, we were going to have them on episode 12, but we had someone else instead.
That's such a good point. We had to have somebody else. They had to cancel because they were being used for something else.
Yeah. But it's okay. We got them for this week.
But yeah, so chemo's been good. I mean, don't feel the tumors as much. My neck kind of hurts, but things are cool.
That is very, very cool. And honestly, just keep telling your friends about the podcast. I don't know why this pointed at the ceiling. But yes, keep telling everybody, literally everybody. Even if you don't like this person, if they're on your haters list, tell them about this great podcast that they might enjoy. If you see someone's phone laying around, please try to log in and click on our podcast so it plays in the background. It gets the plays up. It really helps. And then anything else you do in that realm, it would just be great. I had other closing thoughts too, but I think they deleted off my outline. So I think that's about it for this week. So yeah.
Lindsey, say your sign off again.
Yeah, sign off now.
It's been real until next week, so until next week.
Yes, this has been episode 43 of the Until Next Week podcast.
See ya.
Boom.
We all should have just collectively